Welcome to Ælementz, your daily source of insights across finance, science, and beyond. Whether you're traveling, taking a lunchtime stroll, or simply relaxing at home, we're committed to providing new content every day, so join us to grow and learn while living your busy life. Today, we're talking about endangered languages, what they are, why they matter, and what can be done to help protect them. What is an endangered language? An endangered language is one that is at risk of disappearing because the number of speakers is declining. This can happen when younger generations stop learning the language, choosing to use a more dominant one instead. Just like endangered animals, languages can face extinction if no one speaks them anymore. There are over 7,000 languages in the world today, but experts estimate that nearly half could vanish by the end of this century. Losing a language is more than just losing words. It means losing stories, traditions, and ways of understanding the world. For example, consider the Ainu language of Japan, which is spoken by the indigenous Ainu people. Despite efforts to revive it, fewer than 10 native speakers remain today. Similarly, in the UK, Cornish, a Celtic language spoken in Cornwall, was once considered extinct, but is now being brought back through teaching and community efforts. What is the history of endangered languages? Languages have been disappearing for centuries, often as a result of colonization, war, migration, or cultural assimilation. When one culture dominates another, the less dominant group might adopt the dominant language to gain access to education, jobs, and social acceptance. Over time, their original language fades away. For example, during the colonization of the Americas, indigenous languages were often suppressed in favor of European languages like Spanish, English, or Portuguese. In Australia, Aboriginal languages suffered under similar pressures, as government policies forced children into English-speaking schools. Today, only 13 of Australia's 250 indigenous languages are spoken by children. However, efforts to preserve endangered languages are not new. During the 19th century, Welsh speakers in the UK fought to keep their language alive despite the rise of English. Today, Welsh is one of the few success stories, supported by laws, schools, and media. Why are languages important? Languages are more than a means of communication. They are carriers of culture, history, and identity. For instance, the Sami people in Scandinavia have multiple words for snow, reflecting the importance of snow in their environment and way of life. When a language dies, we lose a unique perspective on the world. Additionally, some languages hold knowledge about local plants, medicines, or ecological systems that might not exist in any other form. What happens when a language goes extinct? When a language dies, the cultural knowledge tied to it often disappears too. For example, in Alaska, many native Alaskan languages are endangered, and with them, traditional knowledge about surviving in harsh Arctic conditions could be lost. Efforts like documenting these languages through audio recordings and dictionaries help preserve some of this knowledge for future generations. Can extinct languages be revived? Yes, it is possible. Hebrew is one of the most famous examples. Once considered a dead language, it was revived in the late 19th and early 20th centuries and is now the official language of Israel. Another inspiring example is Maori in New Zealand. After decades of decline due to English dominance, Maori has been revitalized through initiatives like immersion schools, Kura Kaupapa Maori, cultural events, and government policies. Today, it is an official language of New Zealand and is increasingly spoken by younger generations, proving that determined community and national efforts can breathe life back into a language. The most linguistically diverse country. Papua New Guinea has over 800 languages, more than any other country in the world. However, many of these languages have fewer than 1,000 speakers, making them highly vulnerable to extinction. The country's remote geography has helped preserve this diversity, but modernization and urbanization are increasing the pressure on smaller languages. Languages without borders. Some endangered languages, like Basque, exist across national boundaries. Basque is spoken in parts of Spain and France and has no known relatives among other world languages. Efforts to preserve it include bilingual education and cultural festivals, which bring people together to celebrate their unique heritage. Endangered languages are more than just words. They're windows into human creativity, history, and diversity. What do you think? Have you encountered an endangered language in your community or travels? Should we prioritize preserving these languages? And if so, how? Share your thoughts below. Thanks for being here. If you find this helpful, consider subscribing. More content is on the way, and I hope to see you again.